Folks, it's Mark here from Aus DeFi, DSAI and Not Centralized, and coming to you live again for another emerging tech pulse. First up in the news, it was over to Perth and we had another amazing event there over at Space Cubed, and we thank them for hosting us. So Kat Dunn and the folks at Bamboo were there. They were on a panel, and there was James from Simpler, Blake from Bamboo, and Ronan as well from HBAR Suite. So definitely worth checking that one out. We've got some highlight photos on Twitter. We also congratulate our friends over at Novatti for winning awards at the Fintech Awards. That's the 8th annual Fintech Awards. So definitely congratulations to them. It's always great seeing members in the news, and we saw Nick Bishop of Not Centralized as well as our New South Wales chapter lead in the AFR talking about Bitcoin with Tom Richardson over there. So definitely worth checking out that article. And if you missed it, we had a great episode out on the community series. So that's getting to know the projects and community. And we had Brenda Savaluk from Black Gold Legal. And we talked to her not just about legal, but also about what it was like getting into this space in 2017 with the ICO phase and all that kind of stuff. So really great. It's a blast from the past for me because when she was getting into it, I was still in investment banking in London, and we met up, and I had heard that she was getting into this space. So it's great seeing people that I knew initially when I'd started looking at all of this, seeing how they're doing and growing and helping startups themselves. So definitely worth checking out that episode here. If you're in this space and know about stablecoins, you'll know that one of the biggest ones is USDT, aka Tether. And whilst they are great and rival USDC, there's a lot of question marks on USDT about how obfuscated some of the basically the underlying, the stuff that they're worth. How is that audited? How is that accounted for? So they talk to the CTO here, that's the Defiant. Camilla Russo over at the Defiant has a chat about that. So definitely worth checking out this. It's interesting to seeing, what questions are answered and what aren't. But yeah, I wonder if it shed any more light on this for you, or if it just left more questions, so worth a look. And finally, if you are heading to Token 2049 next week, we will be there. So Arturo and I from Aus DeFi / Not Centralized. You'll also see many others there. There is a Telegram group, so reach out to me if you are interested, because there's a Telegram group of now, as of this morning, 100 Aussies that are heading over there. So there's going to be a big contingent. Definitely worth joining the crew to see what's going on in terms of morning runs or coffees or places to meet and other side events. It's going to be chaos and manic and amazing all at the same time. So we're definitely looking forward to that. We'll see you there. And now I get to put the data science hat on with AI Chronicles. First up in the news, we had the awesome DSAI meetup over at Creditor Watch. We thank our sponsors for putting on the food and providing the event and venue space there. We had some amazing presenters, and it was just such a fun-filled night with over 100 people coming together to talk all about not just ChatGPT and LLMs, but how they're using data and AI in business as well. So we had the regular folks and updates from Paul and myself. We also had Raymond Sun and James talk about regulation and model governance. And then it was great to have some guests on as well. So we had Nikki talking about how she's got her company called Scene Culture and how they're helping with the retention problem and providing data-driven insights to those that are employing people. Then we also heard from Andrew and talking about how he's helping lower the barriers of AI adoption in business. And then we also heard from Joyce and how she has built basically a real estate helper powered by AI that helps you look for homes. So some really interesting insights and builders, and just great to see what folks are doing. The last two were from the AI Builders Club run by Annie at Aura Ventures, so definitely worth checking that out. Tomorrow on Tuesday, or actually today when you get to see this, there is going to be a big presentation of the AI builders in the evening. So I'll be lucky enough to get along to that. Hopefully I will see you there. We also saw a great article out from the group called The Chainsaw, and that talked about how a lot of companies are using AI in terms of building their videos. So we're seeing more of this kind of adoption. It's going to just be synonymous with what you do. Just like we had tech innovations from before, where it was a small fraction of companies getting into things like the internet or even into cloud. and now it just sounds silly to not think about, doing things online or in the cloud. There's a lot of stuff to, basically see how these things grow, and how there's definitely the adoption curve and waves and stuff there. And there's definitely pushback, but over time, innovation just continues to roll on. So great to see that companies are actually incorporating it a lot more than people think. There was also a great article out about OpenAI being sued and just how they're trying to dismiss the case, especially when it comes to the usage of materials. And it talks into things like fair use. It goes about looking at how, and why they think that they should not be sued. So it's interesting to see the different arguments there. It's going to be really a key thing for creators, as we see with Hollywood actors and the whole SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, rallying against usage and depictions of likenesses of characters. I think when it comes to fair usage like this, as long as there are some sort of rewards back to and royalties back to those that were identified as inputs into models, I think it's going to be interesting there. But even identifying that's the really hard part. So worth checking out this article. There's a whole rabbit hole, spider web of going into things here, but I'm sure that folks in our community can really help out understand all of that. And finally, if you missed any of the news from the week, make sure to check out not just AI Chronicles and Chain Reaction for your blockchain and AI news, but also in the AI space. One of our favorite video vloggers is Matt Wolfe, and he has some great content in terms of what has gone on during the week. He's able to keep on top of that because he also runs something called Future Tools, which is a collection of various AI tools, all nicely categorized. And I've seen a few other sites like that out there, but definitely worth checking out. Anyway, folks, that's it for the news this week. Emerging Tech Pulse will hopefully continue next week, depending on my internet connection, because I will be in Hong Kong. It'll be very busy with meetings and meetups, so I will do my best to keep both newsletters up and running over that time and get some video highlights to you for those that prefer to watch this kind of stuff instead. But this is just highlights, so we just point out the newsletters and the articles. It's worth checking those out, as well as the links to the videos, etc. So I'm Mark. I will see you again hopefully next week, and in the meantime, stay safe, be well, and continue in your AI, blockchain, and emerging tech journeys. Cheers.